I'm gonna sing one more time and start in 3, 2, 1. Okay, cool.
That's epic, dude. So, feeding the world, is that like a jewel? Are they feeding kids jewels? What is that?
That's a strawberry.
Oh.
That's not
a frozen
jewel.
strawberry.
Yeah, they feed them frozen strawberries.
That's honestly worse. You're gonna give so, for example, you got a kid in Africa. He's starving.
Why is he always in Africa, you racist?
Okay, but first of all, if he's in Africa, like his stomach's not going to be able to handle a frozen strawberry.
Absolutely,
he can barely handle rice.
Yeah.
Actually, isn't that a real thing? They have to be careful what they send them because they've eaten so little, like those villages.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure, yeah. So you give someone in Africa a frozen strawberry. You're telling me their teeth are prepared to munch on a frozen good like that? You're basically chewing an ice cube.
Yep.
Okay, well...
That melts in your mouth, kind of.
But it's better than nothing, isn't it?
Well, that's a great argument. That's a really good point.
Yeah, would you rather die or eat the frozen strawberry?
I'd probably rather die.
Me too, but it's not about me.
No, okay,
Most things are, though.
Oh, sure, yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me, dude.
Let's see, I have to get rid of the cryo vapor. Let's go over here.
Cryo vapor.
Batman looks a little chilly.
He is a little chilly, but it's okay. He's got his cool suit on.
Honestly, my favorite suit, maybe in the Arkham universe, is this suit right here.
It is pretty cool. He looks pretty,
He looks like a Decepticon.
You know, he looks pretty sexy.
This guy adds nothing to the dialogue.
What a twist!
I need the super coolant from Victor's lab.
What do you mean?
Activate the cryo.
He can't be sexy. We can't talk about it.
No, not
look
you
at those
guys.
pecs.
Oh.
This guy that I saved just for him to say, "Holy, thanks."
No, that means a lot to me.
Oh, that's right. I have to
Heat it
do
up.
that.
Bang.
Then I think I have to.
Long range? Or you have to get on your thingy.
What?
You have to get on that thing and then
Can
do
you
it?
do that? I don't.
Maybe you can't.
Is it too chilly down there to
Usually-
walk?
What?
Wait, there's another one here.
There you go.
That was
very
a
good.
very accurate throw from what I was doing. There's one here.
Wow.
Is that it?
There we go. The fan's going.
Perfect.
Oh, good. Not cold anymore.
Now, I know that gets rid of the vapor, hypothetically, but wouldn't a fan make it colder?
No, it's actually sucking it out.
Oh.
It's like, you know.
What was it like?
Like providing pressure inwardly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay.
If you ever want to test that out, there's actually a really good way to do it. It's on
Yeah.
Orange YouTube, but I'm not going to tell you anymore.
Orange
than that.
YouTube?
Yeah, it's like a
Okay.
different form of YouTube. You can see like how that fan works.
That's where my
Yeah,
channel
There's more
is.
going on here than a simple accident.
If you
The
could
security
describe
guard's skin
Orange
has the same
YouTube
blue coloration
for like
as
new
Freeze's.
guys, you know, or
should
newbies
set up a
to
crime
the
scene.
Orange Web, if you will.
It is a place that Jesus Christ himself created.
Really?
Well, I mean, I've seen people named Jesus commenting there, so you might not be wrong.
Data analysis
really cool.
indicates that he
Okay,
died from
wow.
heat stroke, but the control room doesn't show signs of overheating.
What a pussy.
Look at him wiggle.
What's next? Yeah?
That's how I run in gym class.
You graceful swan.
I know.
This is some kind of crystallized chemical residue.
So...
Traces lead back into the lab.
Oh, I see.
Oh, man.
This is how I lay down the beat. Yo, my name is Batman, and I'm here to say I only play this game every day.
Good rhyme.
Thank you.
10 out of 10.
Alright,
Should rhyme again.
let's follow her here. These seem kind of unnecessary.
A little.
bit. A little bit.
They just wanted to give you a warm batarang for those cold nights.
Is this guy... Oh, he's dead.
He's
okay.
dead. He's murdered. You know,
Trail ends
have you guys
here.
seen Wonder
I
Woman
should
84
scan for
yet?
more evidence.
Yeah, we have.
You have seen it?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
went to the movies to see it.
Did you see it?
I did watch it finally.
I didn't think it was that good.
No, I didn't.
Or
think it was that
awful
good
either. I didn't think it was awful
That's
either.
exactly how I felt.
Here, wait 1 second.
Two men struggled. One of them ran out of the lab. That would be the dead security guard I found. These palm prints are a match for Victor Freeze. He must have watched the security guard die.
He's a sick mama jama.
Cakes on him, some meat slabs.
All cheeked up on a Thursday afternoon.
Oh, yeah, on a Thursday of all days, too? Shouldn't have.
You shouldn't have.
Freeze scavenged what he needed from various prototypes to build himself a super-cooled survival suit. Extreme pressure built up inside the tank when ice sealed these outtakes. It appears that this guard was frozen by the cryovapors from the resulting explosion. The evidence suggests the guard was frozen before the tank ruptured, perhaps by Freeze's cryocannon. These DNA traces are a match for Victor Freeze. Spatter analysis suggests a blunt impact. Someone assaulted Freeze with a weapon. The cannon was knocked over and fired. When the tank exploded, it released a plume of cryochemicals. The plume enveloped Freeze and the guard, but the shockwave knocked the assailant clear. I need to find that weapon. It may have evidence I can use to identify the assailant.
Where are we gonna find that weapon?
Wasn't it?
I don't know.
Wasn't it that one? Oh, it's not that one? Follow the red trail as you scrub through the evidence.
I think if you go forward then? Yeah.
I just like this.
I like to watch Assault in my free time.
Yo, what up? This is like from an MGK video. Alright, what are we watching for now?
Red.
Yeah, keep going. Good.
Is it gonna be in here?
Maybe? Yeah. His gun.
Was it Freeze's gun or this guy's gun?
I think it might have been the one that that guy hit Freeze with. So, this guy's gun. But it should be on the floor somewhere or something, you know?
Wait, yeah, because it should be in the corner. That's where he dropped the gun. So we just have to find where he dropped the gun.
Go back to where
Joe, when you move like that, it pulls my headphones out.
Sorry. Go back to where he was hitting Freeze in the head, yeah.
Yeah, then go back. And then when the cannon opens up.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see the hitting Freeze. Isn't it here?
Right before this, I think.
There you go. Now, go to the corner. Where's the gun? Yeah, there you go.
There it is.
Literally, I was here.
Yes, well.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. You just didn't do it right. If you were
DNA analysis
better,
confirms
you know?
the gun was used to
That's
bludgeon
true.
Victor Freeze, and fingerprint analysis shows Ferris Boyle. It was Ferris. Something was wheeled through this fluid, possibly a gurney. The fluid must have frozen almost immediately for these tracks to have been preserved.
It was almost like Rocksteady had something against using the few good ideas that WB Games Montreal brought to the table.
Because there was, I think, quite a few really good ideas.
I do too.
On Origins.
Yeah, I don't get why they were like so annoyed about
Freeze was secretly doing research on Huntington's Korea, but this is a cryogenic weapons lab. The test subject was Nora Freeze. Now I know what happened here. Boyle hired Victor to help advance the secret cryoweapons program within GothCorp. In exchange, Boyle agreed to devote GothCorp resources to finding a cure for Nora's Huntington's. But Boyle was more interested in how Victor had managed to put Nora into cryostasis. When Victor realized that Boyle had no intention of following through on their deal, he decided to do the Huntington's research himself. But Boyle didn't like that. The cryochemical cocktail altered Victor's metabolism, as well as the guards. Boyle escaped ahead of the plume and had the lab quarantined. Victor survived, but he knew that leaving the supercooled lab would kill him. So he built himself a suit and utilized an organic supercoolant to keep his core temperature sub-zero. All this violence. He's just trying to save his dying wife. The supercoolant Victor uses in his suit is the same fluid I need for the cryo drill.
Alright, so are we gonna go talk about Wonder Woman now?
Oh, yeah,
Because
yeah,
I thought
yeah.
it was a little bit of a disappointment, even though it was a fine movie. It was decent.
It bothered Jill more than it bothered me.
I wanted more. I was expecting more Wonder Woman fighting, you know, cool, kicking butt. You know, I was expecting more sexy Wonder Woman kicking butt against a cool villain, and all I got was two Well, one kind of lame villain and one semi-decent villain. And that's
Which one
it.
was semi-decent in your opinion?
I think the Cheetah Girl was
Send forward the evidence
semi-decent.
I've gathered on Boyle's
But,
crimes.
I'm sorry.
I don't know, the
Mr.
one that
Green.
was very obviously
you
trying to be
had high
Donald
hopes
Trump
for what
was a little bit
Ferris
boring to me.
That doesn't matter.
He was alright, it's
Victor's
just,
plan was
at
never
the
to
end, his
kill Boyle.
philosophy was kind of
He needs
dumb.
Boyle's security
know.
access to get his wife out of Gothcourt.
Yeah,
That's all he wants.
And now, you're
I don't know. I don't think it's really that important. I mean, it's the same exact stuff we already knew. Like, basically just
But
Victor
not for
Freeze
Victor.
wants to fix his wife and Boyle's a dick.
Oh,
That's
sure,
literally
okay.
all that was said.
Yeah,
So
that's
I don't think it was that important.
I totally agree with you, by the way. I think that there were quite a few moments, and this didn't happen in the first one. There were quite a few.
I'm gonna have Candy pour me a nice hot.
It's not important.
All right. There were quite a few moments where I was watching and I like audibly was like, "What? That doesn't make any sense. Why would they do that?" Why? And that didn't happen in the first one. Like the first one had a solid story, characters that were developed, and that it was succinct and it wasn't like simple, but it was compact and you knew what was going on. It felt like there was too much. Like they tried to force too much in there, and it almost felt lazy at times.
Yeah.
Like they just were like more villain, and it was like
And it kind of felt like they brought Chris Pine back just because people liked him in the first movie and
Yes.
they thought it'd save it. You know, it didn't really make sense, I guess, to me.
Totally, yeah, agreed.
And they didn't use that cool, like, golden suit enough, in
Yeah,
my
it was
opinion.
right at the end, and then it got destroyed, and she threw it off.
Yeah.
That was all the advertising was
Yeah.
about that. And by the way, that was all the advertising, and it's just like barely talked about why it's in her closet, in her surveillance room, basically.
Yeah, like, where'd she find that?
Why? Yeah, and then there was the cool Easter egg about, Linda Carter. Like that was kind of cool. I did like that. I guess spoilers, but so there was some cool stuff in there. Like you said, it wasn't like a bad movie,
No, it was fine.
but in regards
Let's
to a
be
sequel
reasonable. You're not gonna let
to the
me
first
die
one,
now,
which
are
I
you?
think was the best
Oh, yeah.
movie in the DCEU so far,
It was a letdown.
it was a letdown.
Yeah.
It was definitely a letdown.
You're gonna get me on this damn iceberg.
You're good right where you are.
But you can't leave me here. I'll freeze to death.
Not my problem.
Oh, so you come back to gloat, have you? Oh, I'll hang you with that bloody cape. You hear me?
I thought that I was supposed to come back here and talk to him after that, but when I'm trying to go up to get out of here,
I thought Batman was against letting people die.
nah.
Nah?
I'll have to kill you.
I do have to go this way, okay. Alright, my Wonder Woman 1984 thoughts are,
That's dope, by the way.
it was kind of disappointing. I didn't think it was awful. I didn't think it was great. I thought it was okay. It's an okay movie. It's better than the worst movies in that universe. It's far worse than the best. I honestly think Batman v Superman, the Ultimate Cut, is a better written movie than that.
I would
That's
agree.
true.
And that's sad.
No, I would 100% agree.
I also think that I am the other way around. I mean, Cheetah could have been cool, but I think she's fine. I ended up liking the Trump knockoff a little bit more than her, just because I liked some of the charisma he brought to the role. However, his ending was horrible.
He's his acting performance. Pedro Pascal is a fantastic actor.
Yeah, he did a really good job in the part for that he was given.
It's just the writing.
The end was stupid.
It was.
The end of this movie. I mean, do people care if we talk about Wonder Woman 1984? They
don't
shouldn't at this
think
point.
so.
I mean,
No.
I wanted to see her, like, either have to kill him or, like, do some sort of cool fight scene, and I didn't get that. It was just her being like, "We're not so wish,"
Yeah,
and everyone listened.
Also, by the way, that's a problem right there. How would you get millions of people to all renounce their wish? Every single one. You're telling me there was not a single psychopath that made a wish?
It's just
that.
kind of corny sounding too.
But think about this. I know it's
And logistically,
God's.
it makes no sense.
Yeah, I know it's God, so I'm not trying to be like stupid about this, but you're telling me that out of millions of people, there was not a single psychopath that wasn't like, nah, I'd rather have my wish and watch the world burn. Mm-hmm. Nobody. There wasn't like some ISIS guy who like made a wish or anything. Mm-hmm. No one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Victor, you have to let him go.
I'm taking my wife. You can't stop me.
I know the truth, and so will the police. Boyle will face judgment for his crimes.
It was an accident. You don't know what you're talking about. Nothing matters. Do you understand? Nothing but my Nora!
You've endangered lives all over this city. Nora would never have wanted this.
No. What she wants is to live a long life in the warmth of the sun. Her hand in mine. And because of him, she'll only feel the icy touch of a man whose emotions run as cold as the blood in his veins. Where are the rest of you? Get in here.
Oh, here we go.
Is this the final boss?
I think so. I could be wrong. I'm not sure.
This looks fun. I've never played this DLC before.
I haven't played
pretty good.
it since it came out. I think. It's been a long time for me.
You should be helping me, Batman.
But yeah, essentially, I agree. I think that, to your point,
Which one of us are you talking about?
Jill, I think that there was not nearly enough fighting
No.
for Wonder Woman. And it was a longer movie, too. It wasn't like this was an hour and a half long movie. I think it was at least 2 hours and 15 minutes, maybe 2.5 even. I
They
don't
could have
know.
put some epic fight scenes in there, and they just didn't want to.
Yeah, there was the one where the truck got blown up and she had to do that, and like there was that truck scene.
That was cool.
That was actually one of the better scenes in the movie, I
Yeah.
would think. You know, there was some really cool stuff going on there. There was the fight with Cheetah, which was also good. Those are the two notable fights that I can think of.
There was nothing else.
There was nothing else. And you look at like the first one, she had multiple amazing fights. Like,
Yeah.
throughout that scene where she's going across the battlefield and deflecting
With the bullets, that was so cool
So
and
dope.
iconic.
Yes. And like you had really nothing going on in Wonder Woman 84 of note except for those two scenes, fighting wise.
Yeah.
And that's not good for a superhero movie, I think. Like
Yeah.
there can be a lot of dialogue, you can make a really good story, but the problem was
It's
the
barely
story,
an action movie.
Yeah, and the story didn't carry it enough to justify not enough action.
I don't think it needed to be an action movie, but it would have to have a really strong story not to be.
Yes.
You know, like for example, WandaVision. I'm not going to get into specifics of it. There's very little fighting in WandaVision. The
But it's
majority
really
of it,
good.
the majority of it does happen. I'm trying to figure out how to say this without spoiling anything. I'm not going to say who it is or anything like that. But the majority of it happens within 2 episodes of the 9-episode run. You know, the rest of it mainly dialogue and intrigue.
And story and build up. And
But it was good.
quality, like not lazy storytelling.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what it felt like with this one.
Unbreakable's like that. Unbreakable is like there's maybe one fight in the whole movie, if you can even call it that. But I still think it's one of the best superhero movies ever made and one of the most underrated ones because the storytelling is just so strong. And it's all about a guy becoming a superhero, not about what he does when he is one.
Right.
Yeah.
It's about a person like turning from a normal person into more than that. I think Begins is a lot like that too.
I was gonna say-
There's actually very little fighting in Begins. A lot of it's like sparring at the beginning with the League.
And in training.
And
Yeah.
then a few takedowns, and that's it.
You don't need fighting to make a really good superhero movie, but it does help when it's a big part of the character and something people enjoy seeing. Like with Wonder Woman, I love seeing her take down people. It's always
Yeah.
fun for me. You know, and I love seeing Superman save the day. You know, but it's not like you need that. But I think this movie definitely needed something a bit more.
Agreed, because the storytelling just didn't do enough for it. Like if you have a lot of just, oh that's insane, oh that's crazy fighting moments, and the story is like blah, you're approaching closer to like Transformers 1 quality movie, where it's like this isn't the best movie I've ever seen, but like it's memorable, I enjoyed it, that was a good time. Wonder Woman, the first one, I think had a mix of really good storytelling and really good action. It was just a really good, it's the best DC EU movie, I think, substantially. There's
I
not a lot of
agree.
question,
It
I
was
think.
really, really
Man of
good.
Steel's up there too because of that.
Man of Steel
Do
had a
you
similar
remember how
vibe.
to get up to this? Because like when I get up here, unless it's something to do with that,
I think it's something to do with that, probably.
What are the levels things? You might have to drain something, yeah. Yeah, for sure. There it is. Yes.
yeah, I was trying to figure out how I was supposed to get up there. Come on.
I don't remember this at all. Very good. Get out of there. Get out of there.
All right. I think he starts freezing vantage points too. Then you have to like get him with
It's
the
gonna get tough then.
heated battering.
Yeah, the only thing that concerns me with the results of Wonder Woman is I thought for sure, and maybe this was naive and dumb, I thought Wonder Woman 84 would for sure be like, well, this will be a good movie. This will be a quality bounce back.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be really good too. That's why I was so disappointed.
Yeah.
I didn't.
You didn't think it was going to be good? I really did.
I
had
never did
expectations.
because of this. I didn't have any expectation. I'm not saying this is like a good take, by the way. I'm just saying I didn't have expectations because when they announced it, I was like, oh, that looks like a cool aesthetic. I mean, the 80s, but when they did the 80s in the show, it was kind of weird. Like, they started doing, oh, come on, man. It's some malarkey.
That's some malarkey.
When they did, it wasn't the 80s, when they started doing the Cold War in the show of Wonder Woman, after focusing on World War II, which was, they even said that was kind of a basis for some of their movies. Mm-hmm. They, talked to Linda Carter. They wanted to respect her live action portrayal while doing their own thing. It was done kind of poorly because, like, they didn't know what to do. So it was like she was now hanging out with Steve Trevor's son, who was the same exact actor and everything. It was weird in the show. And so what I was thinking was like, okay, well, if you're going off Linda Carter, which had like a great first, 2 seasons and then was kind of odd, but I still liked it. Oh, come on. This might be a little weird. And then they did the toys and then lockdown happened and then it just was never coming out. And it hit the point where it was like Black Widow, where it's like, I literally was like, if this is good, awesome. But to me, it barely exists anymore. I don't even remember this as a thing. Because it's been a year,
For the movie?
For Wonder Woman, yeah. So it was like my expectations died because of time, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that's... I am doing so bad here. There's too many guys.
My expectations for Black Widow are kind of going down now, too, because of all of that.
I want it to be good.
Me too. I really want it to be good, but I just don't know with the whole pandemic thing.
And then by the time Jill and I saw Wonder Woman, we had heard everybody saying it was horrible. So, like, I didn't...
kind of ruined it a little bit.
I didn't go in, like, thinking, oh, this is going to be horrible, but I went in thinking, wow, people don't like this. That's kind of a bad sign. I wonder if I will. That's just kind of what I thought. So by the time I got there, time, the reports of other people, all this stuff wore down my expectations. And then them fast-tracking a third movie, which happened before we saw it. They announced it's 3 is being fast-tracked to the DCEU to come out in a few years.
Oh, it's happening already? I didn't know that was greenlit already.
So for me, it was like, oh, so people don't like this and they're already fast-tracking more? This reminds me of The Last Jedi.
I had still gone into that movie, though, like, really wanting to like it and hoping it was going to be really good and trying not to let other people's opinions influence me. But a lot of them were pretty right.
I mean, I don't even agree fully with all their opinions because people acted like it was the worst thing in the DCEU.
And it's not.
That was weird to me. But
I think it's just because people were really upset about Wonder Woman not being treated right because she's such a beloved character.
I get that, but that's a stupid, like, subjective way to, like, reason it. Is like, hey, Suicide Squad's way worse than this, but because my expectations were more, that makes Wonder Woman a worse movie. Because there were people literally saying it was the worst thing in the DCEU.